This girl was Xin Shui, a bus driver. That day, when someone carried a lot of backpacks on her bus, Xin Shui made him pay for tickets for 2 passengers, because his belongings took up a lot of room. Lao Guan observed that the bus still had a lot of seats, so he declined to purchase any further tickets. He feigned opening his wallet and purposefully aside all the coins. He took out 100 yuan and placed it in front of Xin Shui, expecting to annoy her. Unexpectedly, Xin Shui abruptly snatched Lao Guan's 100 yuan and placed it in the cash box. Lao Guan was taken aback when he saw this. This bus's cash box did not pay back change. How might Lao Guan reclaim the change? Xin Shui then told Lao Guan that if he wanted to get back change, he should sell tickets here. At the last bus stop, Lao Guan had to take a large number of coins. Lao Guan went to the city to finalize his divorce from his wife. However, after seeing his wife, he felt his pocket and realized that the wallet had been taken on the bus just moments before. They couldn't get a divorce if they didn't have a marriage certificate. However, his wife thought that Lao Guan did not want to get a divorce and left furiously. Lao Guan needed to find the bus driver and intended to use the bus's camera to find his wallet. Anyway, all of the proof was there. When Lao Guan arrived at the bus agency, Xin Shui spotted this familiar face, without allowing Lao Guan to speak. Xin Shui immediately mocked him for a while. The leader, who did not comprehend what Xin Shui said, immediately explained to her that Lao Guan had come to look for a wallet. After hearing that, Xin Shui felt she was being a bit too unreasonable. After reviewing all of the cameras, they determined that Lao Guan's wallet was stolen by criminals. Not long after he boarded the bus. At this point, Xin Shui realized she had been impolite and could only invite Lao Guan, who had no more money, to eat. After hearing him say he needed to go to the internet cafe to remain overnight, Xin Shui quickly contacted Lao Guan. She intended to invite him to her family's hotel as an apology to Lao Guan. But she was aware that her mother had a propensity for questioning the guys she brought home, so she told Lao Guan to prepare to deal with her. Early the next morning, Lao Guan awoke and ran into Xin Shui's mother. She thought Xin Shui had brought her boyfriend home, so she kept asking. She inquired about Lao Guan's home, vehicle, and parents. Lao Guan also responded honestly. She was generally pleased with the state of Lao Guan. She was so delightful because she had finally found her expected son-in-law. That day, Xin Shui went out to accept a friend's invitation to take a private job driving a tour group for a day. Luckily, there was still a photographer shortage, so she recommended Lao Guan for this position. Lao Guan used to be a skilled photographer. He took a lot of stunning photos for the tourists. When Xin Shui opened it, she saw that Lao Guan had been photographing her a lot. Lao Guan explained to her that these were shot by coincidence, resulting in more natural-looking photographs. She felt quite beautiful when she looked at her photographs. He went to withdraw money that day and discovered that his friend had sent just enough money to cover the cost of a bus ticket. Lao Guan then sadly waited for the bus. When he got on the bus, he saw Xin Shui. But before talking, he noticed the 3 thieves who had stolen his wallet the previous time. He discreetly informed Xin Shui, and she immediately drove to the police station. The wallet that Lao Guan had lost was eventually discovered thanks to the assistance of the police. But instead of returning home, he wanted to stay at her family's hotel. They spent the evening in the garden, drinking and talking until late at night. Xin Shui said that she had a dream of a visit to Mount Kilimanjaro. After hearing that, Lao Guan chuckled and said that this time last year, he was there shooting photographs. Maybe this was fate. Lao Guan enjoyed photography, but he exclusively photographed wildlife. However, these efforts were insufficient to meet the demands of clients. So much time and money had to be spent, but with no result. He had no choice but to return to conventional photography. Xin Shui sympathized with him. It is difficult for people to do what they want, because she was afraid that if she summoned the courage to travel to Africa alone, people would think she had psychological issues as a result of her inability to marry. So when she was ready to depart, she regretted her decision. Lao Guan helplessly laughed. Meanwhile, Lao Guan received a phone call from his ex-wife. She wanted to invite him to her wedding. Lao Guan couldn't refuse it, so he accepted, but he also invited Xin Shui to go with him. The next day, the two of them went to a clothes store and spent a long time shopping. They attended his ex-wife's wedding together. But as Xin Shui walked out of the room, she overheard Lao Guan's ex-wife reminding him. She told that he and Xin Shui didn't match each other. Lao Guan did not express his thoughts either. This made Xin Shui's heart very uncomfortable. Xin Shui returned to the wedding, drinking copious amounts of wine, and even inviting Lao Guan to dance. The way they danced was really special, so that everyone was excited. Both Lao Guan's ex-wife and her current husband were confused. After the wedding, the two of them went for a walk on the beach. Xin Shui knew Lao Guan should go as well. He had been here for far too long. The most important thing Lao Guan never told Xin Shui was that he liked her. So Xin Shui was unable to express her feelings. When Lao Guan returned home, he received an invitation from National Geographic magazine. This was great news, yet he was unhappy. Because of the expenses of the internship, he was hesitant to make a decision. When Xin Shui found out, she took an album that her father had given her when she was a child. Although her mother didn't know how much it would cost, she told her that it was considered to be a dowry. Xin Shui realized that she was unable to marry anyone. So she wanted to use it to fulfill the dream of Lao Guan. She also told Lao Guan that if he ever came to Africa, he would shoot some wonderful photographs on her behalf. Lao Guan was hesitant to receive this priceless album. Soon after, he packed his luggage and left. Xin Shui had missed Lao Guan terribly after he had left. Her friends, however, all said that she had been deceived by Lao Guan. And Xin Shui's heart was also uneasy. She hadn't gotten any emails from him. And Xin Shui sometimes had nightmares. With the passage of time, Xin Shui gradually returned to her normal life. But as she got back on the bus, she noticed a familiar face. Lao Guan had returned. He also brought 2 tickets to Africa and Mount Kilimanjaro, and gifted them to her. The story had a beautiful ending. They traveled to Mount Kilimanjaro together. The only difference from her dream was that Xin Shui would not have to travel alone to Africa this time.